Well, welcome back, everyone. In studio now we have Lynn Waterbury, who's one of the founders of an organization called NicBluCares. So it's a very important organization. I don't want to say anything about it wrong, so I'm going to have you explain to folks what it is.
So NicBluCares was something that was brought about because we need to remind members of the community how important compassion is. And we have a lot of organizations that are already compassionate. We just needed a resource to bring them all together. So we have been working with Dr. Julian Abel, who is over in the UK, and the compassionate community movement actually started in Australia. And this is a public health approach, which is different than other compassionate communities. So with public health, we want to make sure that we have early intervention. We want to reduce harm. We want to cause prevention. We have plans in place for tornado drills, you know, what happens if there's a fire, but we don't have anything that we talk about when it comes to grief and loss, and that's inevitable. It will happen. So we're talking about the plans and how to deal with that.
You know, why did you decide to bring this to Mankato? Why was that so important?
So we got started with a very passionate woman, Mary Ann Bowe, is the head of Deva Nation, which is named after her son, Deva. And we have lots of work to do, and no one wants to talk about grief and loss. It's kind of a taboo subject, even though every single one of us will face it at some point, whether it's the loss of a job or a pet or a loved one. So this is just bringing all of the resources that are already in place together in a safety net so that no one feels alone. And that's important, and that's why we wanted to bring it here.
So it's been a couple of years since you launched.
Yes.
So how's it going so far?
Really, really well. So NicBluCares as an organization has been underway for about 5 years. And then COVID happened, and we decided that we needed to get our resource directory out faster, and it needed to mean something a little different. So rather than just focusing on the grief and loss aspect, we're focusing on food insecurities, housing, childcare, what does that look like as far as community organizations, support groups, things like that, just for that inclusivity so that loneliness is hopefully brought down a couple of notches.
We have a lot of organizations under those categories. How do you guys get connected with them?
So we are fortunate enough to work with a database who is able to find those resources themselves. You can also submit your own organization. So if your church is having a support group that's not listed on our website and it's something you want to get started, you can just hit the Submit Now button and contact Mary Ann, and then we'll get that listed on there.
Okay, so you mentioned your website. Is that the best place if someone's watching and they want to maybe check out what the resources are, they might need this help? Is that where they should go?
Yes.
Okay.
So NicBluCaresNow.com is the website for that. And then we also want to have places of business include the conversations at work. So if your organization is someone that maybe has grief and loss occur quite frequently, you have a large number of employees, and you want to have a support group at 2 o'clock on a Thursday. We have a conversation guide. How does that get started? What does that look like? And then you just implement those best practices.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, any other information that you want to add today?
If you would like to become a charter member to NicBluCares, please visit our website at NicBluCares.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Lynn, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.